So Dick Clark passed away recently. You know, Dick Clark started out doing very much like this kind of stuff, and what an amazing man, and it's very sad that he passed away. What they don't tell you is the night Dick Clark passed away, he's laying there in his hospital bed. His son is standing there looking at his father. Oh, my poor father, Dick Clark. Very sad, because he knew the end was near. And he looked at the nurse and said, "So nurse, how much time does my father have?" And she went, 10, 9. Has anybody been following the 2012 general presidential election in the United States? Have you? It's Mitt Romney. Oh my God. He's quite the character. We saw him in London, and that was kind of embarrassing. Oh yeah, I ran the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake. What, you were worried about crowd control and too much booze in Salt Lake? Really? It wasn't a problem in Salt Lake. But my favorite was when he went to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. Did anybody see that? What they don't show you about that, you know, they showed that little clip of him rolling up a piece of paper and shoving it into the stone. What they don't show you is that Mitt Romney actually waited about 5 minutes. And when asked by one of his aides, Mr. Romney, "Why are you waiting?" he said, "Doesn't my food order come out this window?" So my friend Rudy, I hadn't seen him in years. And sure enough, the other night I'm out at a bar, and very much like this one, and I run into my friend Rudy. We're out the patio, we're having a couple of drinks, and I'm, "Rudy, how's it going?" "Oh, good. And how's your other half?" "Oh, great. Oh, excellent to hear." Finally, after about talking for about 10 minutes, halfway through our first drink, I broached the subject, and I said, "So, a little uncomfortable, but let's talk about the elephant in the middle of the dining room table here." He's like, "What's that?" I said, "Are you still living in New Orleans?" He goes, "No. Honestly, the house in New Orleans was last seen floating into the Gulf of Mexico." And now my other half and I are living in Memphis. I said, "Oh, Memphis. Nice city." He says, "Well, yeah, the other half was from Memphis, and we decided to move back there." And actually, he says, interesting story about that. Found out from my lawyer one day, Friday at about 3 o'clock, that I have to get down to his office to sign off on a document, because, you know, government, and I had to get the document. I said, "How long have you known about this document?" He said, "They just called me, and today's the deadline. You've got an hour." I'm like, "What, really? And if it's not in by 4 o'clock today, you're not going to get your money." It's like, oh my God. So I like get out of the house, and I'm rushing, and I'm on, like, you know, one of the main streets of Memphis. I'm running down the street, or not running, I'm in the car, and when you know it, it's like, oh my God, it's like 4:25, I'm so going to be late. And the traffic is moving even slower, and now it's like 4:32, and I'm going to be or 3:32, sorry. That joke has been modified for Central Standard Time. Back to Eastern Standard Time, and so there it is, like 3:30, and it's like, come on. Well, sure enough, wouldn't you know it, I'm driving along, and it's bumper to bumper, and the guy in front of me. I'm like, really? He's like, no, really. The guy in front of me suddenly stops. King! Really? Guy puts his car in park, throws on the four-ways, gets out. When you know it, the guy's a dwarf. He's like this big. I'm like, this is so candid, Cameron. I'm not having a great day. And this dwarf walks up to me, and I'm like, really, Rudy? He's like, no, there was a dwarf. Little, short dwarf person. Are you allowed to call them that these days? He was a dwarf. And that dwarf walks up to the car. Bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh, really? So I slowly lower the window down. Can I help you? And the dwarf looks up at me and says, I'm not happy. And I said, which one are you?